Hello everybody, welcome back. As you can see, the sea is slowly starting to disappear behind the bush, which is a good thing for us because, we're not on an island, sort of. We're in the South African bushveld on a private game reserve. And we shouldn't be surrounded by sea because we're definitely not an island. As you can see, we have some wildlife that has approached. It's clearly a hot day and they're coming to drink. If we're very quiet, maybe they'll stick around. And today you can see that was the original, the last place we decorated. And we have another unit that we're going to do today, and I thought it was fairly apt that we have zebra, seeing as a lot of our stuff is zebra striped. It was a good idea. Now I'm going to take you over here and we're going to walk around so we don't disturb the wildlife. Are they still there? Yep, they're still there. Okay. And yes, it's just a picture of the wildlife. If I had a whole full-size zebra that I could build in this game, I would. But we don't. Okay, so I have done a few finishing touches in here, as you can see. We have some books, some fans, a couple of plants. The bathroom is complete now. The bedroom, we've decided on the lights. We've put some cushions on the bed, pillows. And we have a carpet, which I think looks pretty good. I'm quite chuffed with it. As well as a few cosmetics. And that needs to move, doesn't it? Let's move that out of the curtain. What do you say? There we go. Because we did put curtains in the whole place, simply because we have another unit that literally overlooks us. So it would be a good idea to be able to close the curtains when you go to bed or whatever. And we have curtains in here. We have a blind in here if you so wish. Nice big plant. I tried to do dressing gowns. They don't look dressing gown enough, but as soon as I put the fuzzy texture on them, they go grey. So I gave up on that idea, and they are what you get. But as you can see, the floor here is done, and the door still opens and closes even with the triangles in the floor. I have moved the two basins that were here over. I had a little bit of feedback and we decided that would be a good idea. And these lights are not in the same place. Is that better? Yes, there we go. So we have the two basins on this side, the shower, and again the edges of the shower have been finished. We've put some support structures in the roof, and I think this unit's looking pretty good. I wouldn't mind coming and staying here. We have some coffee mugs, some sugar, probably some tea bags, whatever. We just don't have a kettle, which it's in the cupboard. It's in the cupboard. So that is the fancy unit. Well, fancy unit number 1. And here we are going to the next unit. So same setup that we have in the other one, except we don't have an angled shower. I don't know if I'm going to do an angled shower. It might be a slightly different unit. I do know that it's going to be different color scheme, but I think we'll keep the same doors. And we used that one, didn't we? I'm going to have to keep the same black frames on the doors and probably the same smoke on the glass, because you don't really want you see, you can still see inside. We shall have to change that, won't we? Don't really want anyone to look through the window and see someone in the bathroom. There we go, smoked glass. Better. Okay. So we can do the bath in front of the window. We look this way. We are at the back of the resort, as you can see. So I think I want to keep the window looking out, and obviously at the moment you can still see the beach, but that can change. I still think I want to put a bath in front here, a shower. We can put the door to the side here and change it. There we go. And you can see right onto the patio of the main structure of the resort. That's okay. We'll be fine. So if you're in the shower, in the tub, you can check and see who's sitting on the patio. But we will have curtains at the windows. It's just an image. What can I say? All right, now I think we have, let's see, can we move these windows down one? If I move it down one, it's going to give us just a smidgen of space on this side. That we can put a dressing table or something like that. I think that'll work. And then in this case, last time we used pallets for the headboard, and I'm happy with pallets, but I think I'm going to go with something slightly different with this one. We are going for, you know, these beds just like don't make me happy anymore. I like my own bed. You see, I just wish the blanket hung down a little more on the sides, but that's fine. Let's play with this one. So our pillows, we don't want leather pillows. It would be nice if we had regular pillows. The duvet, we definitely don't want fluffy. So let's go with cotton. You know, in Africa, cotton is a good thing. Now, I think we're going giraffe. What do you think? Now, with giraffe, we are probably looking at sort of a tan and a brown. I think that color. That would be pretty good. Or do we go once again with the, let's say, the tan and then do the mattress like we did in the other place? Yeah, that would work. hate that we start in the bright colors because we definitely need more light colors. That'll work. Let's buy it and see what it looks like. That's pretty cool, actually. Okay, let's do that. And then let's figure out what we're going to use as a headboard. We have this fence. Yes, I know. It's tall, but then so are... Why are you giving me a hard time? Fine, I'll just pop you up here and see how tall you are. I am currently using Snap to Grid, so everything is just like jumping as I'm... Oh, that's interesting. I have made a bed. Okay, that's great, but right now the bed needs to be a little bit higher. So let's get you centered here and see what this looks like actually, because this could be quite fun as a centerpiece for the room. That in the middle, can never actually judge with the perspective they give us. Well, pretty much as in the middle as we're going to get, unless we use... What am I doing? Take the grid snapping off. I think that's better. Okay, so let's take it up a little bit, but now we need our friendly little block, because we're going to need to build a base for this bed. Let's start with that. What do you say? We can always make it bigger or smaller, but let's just start somewhere. And then we can put the same colors on it. I think that's the same color. We'll figure it out. Why does that look like it's not matching? There we go. That looks better. It's a bigger... Okay. Now this can be shrunk down. It's not a problem. But that needs to be... So that's centered basically be in between the poles, which is not a bad thing. Okay, now let's resize the base. Okay, we'll have to need to go a little further down. Is that the same size? Because this is slightly off center, we are going to have to move this over. But dang. You see, we don't have the rounded corners that we have on the mattress. I think that's pretty good. And you know, the reason why I wanted to go for that height is obviously the giraffes are really tall creatures. That doesn't mean we have to have the whole height. I like that bed. It's got a polish to the wood. I like the colors. And I think it's got a little bit of personality. I'll put all the pillows and everything on, but I think that will work. Now we just have to find little side tables for the bed. Small storage. Now we use these fancy curved ones in the zebra unit. No. But I don't think I want those. I'm thinking something very simple but chunky. Yeah, let's look at this. See, the problem I have with that, it's boring. Yeah, I know. What can I say? Let's see. Shall? Maybe we go with this. Let's go with the Brazilian walnut. And how about that? I just take it to the cream. Very small, I know. Hey, you're not sitting nicely. Okay, now if we want to bring that up so it actually fits there. That can work. And we could probably put more than one. Then we can just pull the base. I don't know if I like these drawers. Let's look. It's the double. And that's the empty one. So how about we do the drawers? Oh, they don't give us the option. Seriously. Guys. Seriously. Fine. take the handle off. Bet you if I do this, it's going to give me the double draw. Yep, that's fine. I don't like the color of the wood. It looks too light in here now with this. So let's go with walnut. We just need to move these so they're closer to the headboard so there isn't that gap. While I'm playing with this, I was actually thinking the other night I should tell you about my close encounter with a hippo. Now, obviously, the hippopotamus is basically, you find them all over South Africa where there's water. So I've had 2 close encounters with hippos. I thought maybe you'd be interested to hear about them. The first one was when, actually no, not that one, sorry, going back, there we go. The first close encounter that I had was quite a few years ago when a group of us went up and stayed in a place that was very close to the Kruger National Park. And one night we went to a resort to go and have some food. So we parked our car in the parking lot, and then you walked down from there into the main part of the hotel. And as we were walking down the stairs, we noticed people running. We were like, what the hell is happening? And we turned around and we were sort of halfway down the stairs, and we realized there was a hippo that had come into the parking lot, and it was waltzing around, you know, checking everything out, quite interested in the people. And the problem was, it's quite a big animal, and this was not sort of like a baby. This was a full-grown animal, and we had people running past us into the hotel, but we were so fascinated with this creature that we stood and watched it right up until it leant against a vehicle. Now, at that time, well, I don't think the size of a Volkswagen Golf has changed that much. Wow, are you doing that for me? Sorry. So the actual size of the vehicle might have changed a little bit, but not that much. And the hippo leant against the gull and squished it, and then wandered off. It found something else that it wanted to do, so it wandered off and it carried on with its evening. And we were amazed and pretty shaken up, because wow, that doesn't happen often. And I'm just glad it wasn't our vehicle that got squished by a hippo. How do you explain that to your insurance company? So that was the first encounter that we had with close encounter we had with a hippo. The second close encounter that we had with a hippo was, if you look at a map of South Africa, you will see that, dang it, why? You will see that there is a part of South Africa that you can cross from South Africa into Mozambique. And there's a bunch of lakes there. And at the time there was camping available. So it's above St. Lucia, and it's a really beautiful place to go and camp. You're camping on sand, so the actual sand comes in, this beach sand comes in, maybe a kilometer or two. And as I say, there's a series of lakes. Now we had we called it a rubber duck. It's basically a rigid inflatable vehicle that has a motor on it. So we had taken a 4x4, because it's very hard roads. You can't just drive in with a regular car. And we'd taken a 4x4 in, and yeah, that looks better. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Apologies. So we get to the campsite and we pull up at the campsite with our vehicle, and we're told that we must just be very careful with our boat, because if you go onto the lake and you idle for too long in the water, the hippos are attracted by the sound of the motor, and they will come and investigate. And of course there's no swimming, because there are hippos and there are crocodiles, so they don't recommend we try swimming, and we must be very careful. So we're like, okay, sounds good to us. And we got our campsite set up. I think we were there for a week. It was beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so the first day we went out onto the lake, and we were slowly drifting, well, motoring along, looking at everything, admiring the beautiful wildlife and landscape. And we switched off the outboard mode to just like drift and relax. And then we realized the hippos had heard us coming and that we should get the heck out of there fairly quickly before they got too close to our inflatable boat, because, you know, they're a lot bigger than we are. So we couldn't start the engine. And we were panicking. We were like, oh my gosh, what the heck are we gonna do? We did get out. The engine caught, thank heavens, and everything was fine. But boy, that was scary. That was one of the most intense wildlife experiences I've ever had, because boy, those hippos are big. And even if they don't intentionally rub up against your boat, they can tip that boat. And you're in the water, then you're in deep trouble. But yeah, that was my close encounter with hippopotami. Is it hippopotamus or hippopotami? Let me know. I don't know what light I want to put in this room again. I'm forever frustrated with what we have available. But I can live with it, I suppose. Alright, so we're going to keep the copper accents. And let's see what this looks like. I'm quite liking that sort of, I need to clean that up. It's a little freaky there, but that gives it nice height and breaks that triangle there. Let me know what you think. What should I put here? I was hoping we could get the woven, like the basket weave, but you can't put that onto bricks. That's irritating. But hey, okay. So this is what we have right now. I am going to turn the temperature down on everything because we want sort of a warm glow in the room as opposed to a white light. I think that will be awesome. Here we go. I like that. And then we can do the carpet in the same way as we did the one in the other unit, which is, let's copy that. What I did was, seriously, I'm not going to take it. Fine. I did that, and then come on, thank you. I took a regular carpet and I put it on top of it. Clicking too fast. You just got that as the outline. There we go. I'm still in two minds about that. Let me know what you think. I think I might actually put, do we put a chair or should we put an ottoman in front? Maybe this one? That would be interesting. We would have to extend the carpet though. Can I shrink that down? So I can. There you go. So it's not as in your face. Okay, let's change this. So for the base, let's go with a dark wood. Okay. Seat. Maybe that dark brown that we're working with. And the copper handles and the copper details. That brown's not right. Let's try that. Is a bit better. I can live with it. I'm wondering if we should extend these. Should we? The question is, have I put them at the right angle that they're going to meet over the bed though? Wow, okay. I quite like that. It's quite fun actually. Okay, I'm staring. Apologies. Alright, so here I'm thinking we can go for storage, and I'm wondering, should we put shelf? Yeah, I know we're in Africa and I'm using American walnut. What can I say? There, so we're extending this a little bit out and separating the room a bit. As you walk in, you're not looking directly into the bedroom, and we just need something there. This is very modern, but it actually has been known to look quite nice in wood. You just use the same wood, it sort of gives it, yeah, and that fits perfectly. Look at that. That's not bad. Wow. Almost like I measured and I didn't. We can put a mirror up there. So anybody got any close encounter with wildlife stories? Doesn't have to be African wildlife. It can be any wildlife. Let me know. I think I've got copper on this mirror. Do I have my... Yes, I do. That's why it's so bright. Okay. I don't know about the color of this wood. It's okay there, but I think we need something a little less. Then again, you know, we have got giraffe texture here, so maybe we just go with it. Alright, we are wanting a TV in here, so let's have a look. Have we got the option? Damn it. Okay, we've got that. Okay. I will stop being rude. There we go. Okay, so we have a TV unit. We need television. Awesome. And down with this sort of feel in mind, thinking, because this is what we have in the other place, which is fairly modern. This is what we have in the resort. Yeah, no. I don't know. It's too ornate. Fine. No. Maybe? Look, it's a little curvy. No. Damn. Okay. Let's go back to this, but let's do, what are we doing here? Let's do copper. Let's stay with the copper. Brown. That'll work. So the side details. It's not bad. But maybe we can go cream on the main body of the... That is very dark with wood and wood and wood. So maybe let's go the same cream. That's pretty. Okay. I will take it. Now I have found one image of wicker work that I intend to use. You can see all the animals here. There. Remember in the other place we had that huge two there to see what it looks like. It's not bad. Not quite what I was looking for, but it definitely has that sort of basket weave look that you can find. But I'm thinking of that. It's literally a slice of tree. Is really pretty. Not quite the same colors, but I like it. Why am I resizing? Fine. Are you in the middle? Yes, you are. Okay. Oh, you know why? I was wondering why there were so many windows here. And I've just realized I didn't leave place for the fireplace. So we're going to have to take a window out so we can find a fireplace. There it is. you don't want to go and chill around the fire, you can come and chill by your own fire. So, I'm liking it. Let me know what you think. All right. What have we got here? Got a slimmer one. But once again, we don't have let's just copy that across there. No, I don't like that. Let's do what we did in the other place and just put these. I'll have to shrink down that image there. Just wish we could reverse these. That will do. And then we need some chairs, but we'll get to them. I would like to put another plant on the wall here, and I'm liking these lamps. We can either do copper or we can do wood. He's quite curvy and cute. The only problem is they're very white. So in this particular place, they're too white. So maybe these ones. That'll work better than that. Yep. Well, we did say we were going to do different things, and this is a totally different. It's bushveld style. It's animal prints. It's all the rest. But I think that looks pretty good. I'll clean all this up and center it and all the rest. But you get the idea. So we'll have some plants here, and of course we need a little table so you can have breakfast or whatever you want. Now. We had that. I'm not going to go for that. I actually think let's go for this. We go for the light wood top. I think that's pretty actually. That brings the cream and the darker wood. Okay. I didn't faff. Look at that. I'm not going to faff with the chairs either. I promise. I'm not. No. Maybe we should do these. Okay, so if we go with the light top, the light cushion, and then the dark legs, how does that look? Not bad. Not bad. I think I can live with that. Let me know what you think. Alright, and then in exactly the same way we are going to put curtains along this wall here, because, you know, you really don't want all the people peering in. So we're going to go with the copper, and I think I'm going to just go with a straight cream. Oh, here we go. Will you? Yeah, there we go. Well done. Actually, you know what? I want that one closed. Perfect. Let's keep it closed here. I'm going to have to sneak that one next to the... There we go. It's going to have to be snuck. Alright, let's do the grid snapping, because then I can get it all the same length. Yeah. Oh boy, don't mess with the window. Hello? Can I please? Seriously? Oh, did I? Thank you. That's freaky. Doesn't like me messing with the algorithm. No, the matrix. I don't know. So what I've done just to extend these is to go with the copper rod, and we literally just pull it like that, and then move it out. And figure out if it's lined up. And then you have a full curtain across there, even though you don't. It looks pretty good. I'm liking it. We have to make decisions about the bathroom as well. And I'm not 100% sure, but I do know the tub we used was with the bathtub. This one, which is the hot tub, which is pretty cool. You can like chill in your hot tub in front of the window. And I suppose we can do basins along this wall. Perhaps the shower here. been ages since I've played with these showers. Should we do a boxed in shower? Wow, that would be unusual. Let's see. I'm thinking that one. And we're going to do everything just black. Because it has the slide door. We have space then for the hot tub. We can move the window over one. Dang it. And center that a little bit better. Am I selling out, do you think, by using that? I'm not sure. But we can still tile, not a problem. And then I think should we do this? That. Let's go there. We can always bring in that darker wood again. I know that's too high. Let me think about that, because then the toilet's going to be there, which is also a little awkward. Let me think about that layout. I'll come back to that. But you can see how this looks 3D, which is actually really cool. It's just a PNG file. So I'm quite chuffed with that. Alright, I'm going to leave it here today, guys. I'm going to come back and throw some more curtains up, get a couple more trees planted, put a roof on here. As you can see, we have a roof on that one. So we're going to have a similar roof on this one. And then we are going to have another unit back here. That's going to be sort of like the not so expensive unit, because you haven't got a direct view of the watering hole. I'm thinking of maybe a duplex, sort of a double story, so that you've got the option to sit upstairs and look out at the watering hole. So yeah, lots happening. This is probably going to be an extension of the kitchen. I haven't figured that out yet, but I think the lion's eye watering hole, as you can see, it's looking pretty good. There's a lot going on. And if you come over here and you, there we go. What sea? There is no sea. Do you see the sea? I see no sea. Sorry. So guys, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got this far, please subscribe. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.